Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Let's wait 1 minute until people connect. We're gonna have a great conversation today about personal branding. Um, let's wait 1 minute until everybody else gets in, okay? Okay, let's talk about personal branding. What's personal branding? Let's do this today a little more interactive. So I want to hear people, I want to see people writing and telling me what's personal branding. Um, do we think the personal branding is to have a nice logo and colors that match together? What do you guys think? That could be personal branding or no? Um, I think it's part of it, but it's not the main thing about being personal and branding. Definitely, we as a real estate agents, we are a brand. Our persona is a brand. Why? When the clients are looking to be represented by a real estate agent, do they go to the company or do they go to the real estate agent that they know? They usually go to the real estate agent that they know, right? Uh, And when you move companies, because many of us, we move companies all the time, that is something that we should talk one day. But, anyways, when you move companies, do you leave your brand in the other brokerage that you were working with? No, you are moving your brand with you because it's your personal brand. So, what is personal brand for me? I believe that personal brand for me is a different way uh, to talk about reputation. I truly believe that your reputation is your personal brand. And when I said that, what I mean by that, I mean about integrity, I mean authenticity. I mean that we never forget the thank you notes, we never forget the birthdays, we never forget the client's most important dates. We keep on going, and that is how we build a personal brand. So we are, give me just 1 second. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'm in a hotel room. I need to open the door. Sorry, sorry. It was my coffee. Sorry. I can't live without coffee. I work on coffee. I live on coffee. Everything is coffee. Okay. So let's continue talking about personal brand. So for me, and this is something that I learned in one of the Ryan Serhan's podcasts and presentation, and totally agree with it. Personal brand is a reputation. Is what people perceive you as. And how do you build your personal brand and how do you build your reputation? It's very simple. Be authentic. Be yourself. Yeah, colors, branding, logos, things like that, they are part of it. But personal brand is really who you are. Is how do you want to be remembered by people when you are in the industry? And the only way that you can be remembered by is when you really identify yourself with your core values. Who are you? Like, yeah, I am Claudia Serna, but what else? Oh, I love cooking. Oh, then I have people that can identify with me and form a connection with me because I love cooking. So this is about building connections between your prospects and yourself. People need to get connected to you. People need to get identified with you. Okay. So you need to find out what are your core values. What is it that you want people to remember you for? Like you send them a thank you note after they went and sold houses with you. Because believe me, they can choose anyone in the industry. There are tons and millions of real estate agents out there. Why they're going to choose you? What is your definition? What is different from you? Do you see people when are trying to have seeking attention uh, with intentions that when people is trying to get close to you, but the intentions are not real? Can you smell that? People can smell that miles away. You can smell it. Clients and prospects can smell it. So be authentic. Be yourself. It's so interesting how millions and millions of human beings in this earth, and everybody is so unique. You are unique. You have something different than everybody else. You need to find it and you need to portray that out there. And you need to sell yourself with that, with the authenticity that you have, because it's only you. And people is going to connect to that. As soon as people connect to that, because why? Oh, like my example. Oh, Claudia likes to cook also, so I they can connect to me through. So people like to have cats or pets or do makeup tutorials, whatever. There's people for anything and everything. So people get connected with one another. That's the only way that you are creating personal brand. We are not talking about corporate brand, which is very different. You are your own brand. You are your corporation. You are your own business. So you need to understand that you need to create across all of these platforms that we have today. That is, it's overwhelming. I know, and I understand how overwhelming this could be. Instagram, I don't even know all of them. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and many more out there that I don't even know how to mention them. Okay. You need to have a message across those platforms that is consistent. And what I mean by consistent is the following. You cannot post one thing about your personal brand on Facebook and another thing totally different on Instagram. You have to have consistency on your personal brand. And if you do that, I can assure you, you're going to start having followers. And followers, that everybody wants to have followers. I want to have followers. Everyone wants to have followers because sooner or later, I don't know the ratio, maybe the person that I have in our session today can tell us. Um, they can become prospects and then they can become clients. Okay. So we need to have a personal brand. We need to have a reputation. We need to be authentic. We need to have integrity. People is going to remember you if you have integrity. If you don't have integrity, you don't have a good reputation, you're not going to last in this business. And that's the way you should be. So people can get and create connections with you. Your core values are the ones that are going to tell you, hey, I want to portray myself out there this way, this different way. I want to do it like this and be consistent with it. Okay. You are a product. Okay. You're not a commodity. You are a product. What's the story behind that product? I look so weird today with my hair in this background. Okay. You are a product. What's the story of that product? You have a story. Everyone has a story. You need to create your own story and you need to put it out there in order to connect with people. Okay. So you need to show yourself as a personal branding, and that is going to be your reputation, your integrity, and your authenticity. Remember to have a story. Let me welcome our guest today. His name is Diego Lucero. He is the owner of Achieve, a marketing company that I personally use uh, from, I don't know, Diego, 20 years, I believe so, or something like that. So they have been working with me on my social media, my platforms, my videos, and many more things. So Diego is going to be part of this, and he's going to try to explain to us how in real life, in reality, we can put the words that I just said to you to execute and to build on it. Welcome, Dieguito.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Claudia, for the introduction. You're right on point of all the things that you just mentioned. In fact, I prepared a document, not sure if we can share it, that kind of like gives you an overview of pretty much what we want to discuss, which is how to build a good personal brand and what's the value in it. So let me see if I can share.
Pretty sure you can.
Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Oops, sorry about that. All right, so you can see this cover, right?
yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So building a powerful personal brand. Pretty much what I want to talk a little bit about is what's actually a personal brand. It's like an overview of what the purpose of this masterclass is. Then why should I build one? What makes a personal brand great? How to get started, and some things about creativity and strategy, which is most of what we do at a Chief Studio. Some tools and resources that are going to be useful for you as well. And if we got a time, some Q&A where we all can discuss. So without further ado, the man, the myth, this is me. Like Claudia mentioned, I'm Chief Studio. I'm co-founder and creative director. I've been working in the advertisement and design media production industry for more than a decade, almost 2 decades now. I've been working with several markets here in the USA as well as Hispanic markets as well on all sorts of different media productions, such as TV, radio, print, publishing, digital. And I'm also a certified drone pilot, which is a good thing that I'm going to explain later on why it's a good thing to explore different options. And like I said, I've been working with many different companies, real estate companies, healthcare, sales, immigration, and that's where I'm coming from. So the first thing, it's what is a personal brand? So a personal brand, like Claudia mentioned, it's who you are, right? It's your core, and we grab bits from things that Ryan Serna had mentioned, and some other people that I'm going to be referencing here, so you understand exactly what the message and the purpose of this is. So it's your core, it's who you are, it's your personality, because branding, it's preference. We all are irrational, emotional, and connection human beings that are based on this, right? So we need to connect, we need to understand and feel emotions. So what's your core? That's the message that it needs to convey. And like Claudia just mentioned a little bit ago, a product without a story, it's a commodity, right? So if you have a story, you have a brand. And I think all of us have a story somehow, somewhere. And I'll give you a couple of tips later on how to find your story, right? So why should I build a personal brand? Well, first, differentiation. There's a lot of competitors out there, a lot of agents, a lot of people, and that becomes preference. So when it comes to clients, even when it comes to interacting with people, there's always a preference. These days and this day and age, we are like the wealthiest in terms of power acquisition, right? So now that we have access to all of these things, we're looking for meaning rather than just purchasing something. And I'm going to be switching back and forth between sales and the emotional component of a personal brand. So it's not everything is about sales. I want to quote something for Martin Neumeyer. He's an American author. He created a really nice book called The Brand Flip. It will be an interesting read for you if you want to learn more about branding, and especially if you're building a personal brand, no? So first, one of the statements that he was mentioning first is like, we don't want to be sold things. Nobody likes to be sold things, right? But we love to buy. So try to understand the difference between those two. I don't like to be sold, but I do like to buy things, right? And this evolved into, we don't want to buy. We want to join tribes. That's where all of us are coming now through the integration that social media has provided us, that the digital world allow us, is to create communities and to identify ourselves with these communities, right? Um, I'm putting here carries free wine. This is a funny story. I had a friend back in Colombia because I'm from Colombian roots, and he was very successful with the ladies. Everybody was thinking like, "What is up with this guy? He's not like great looking. There's something about him that we couldn't understand." And I remember once that I was walking with him, and there was this beautiful girl, and he introduced himself like his name was Santiago. So he was like, "Hi, I'm Santiago Chow, and I'm carries free." And that was such a weird statement to say. Like, why would you say carries free? I mean, nobody introduces saying how their perspective from the dental
How,
standpoint is, right?
how did he say caries free? So that he didn't have any
Yes,
caries on his teeth? Oh
carries.
my God, that's so hilarious. So
Like in
he was
Spanish
branding
is
himself. He's unforgettable.
exactly, exactly my point. In Spanish, it would be Santiago Chao Cero Caries. So the girl automatically started laughing, and he already broke the ice with that. And it was memorable for her. I'm pretty sure that she will be telling her friends that story over and over. And I mean, up to this point, that was almost like 15 years ago. I still remember that. So that's how memorable you can be. So find those things because those are the things that make you different, that make you memorable, right? And there are also some other components associated to that. That further down the road, I start to understanding like, okay, he said caries free, and somehow you associate that with dentistry and dental and cleanliness. So automatically you're showing your value that you have a really high hygiene on dental, which is safe to kiss. All those relationships that comes afterwards. So this happen in your back of our minds. Just keep that in mind. So, what makes a personal brand great? Uh, Pretty much it's all about connecting, engaging, and creating, right? So, first, let's say we have our
Dieguito,
story.
Dieguito,
Uh, yeah,
let me say something super nara. I
sure.
remember in one of the talks with Ryan Serhant, he used to introduce himself when somebody, what do you do for a living? I am an hands model.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
and modeling.
Yeah, he said
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I remember that. And that's the way his people start like remembering him. Hands model? Who said that they are a hands model? Nobody says that. Yeah,
exactly. And
so
especially
cardiac free,
when you're trying to introduce yourself. So yeah, exactly the point. That already creates a point of differentiation, and sometimes people figure it out naturally. It comes to them organically, but when you sit back and start analyzing those situations and those type of characters that I'm gonna be mentioning in a little bit, just it started to make sense, right? So going back to personal branding, and it's all about connecting, engaging, and creating. One of the big samples of this is Simon Sinek, who's an English author and inspirational speaker. Probably a few of you or all of you have already heard about him. He came up with this theory of the golden circle. And what's the golden circle? It's whenever you start talking about you and your brand or any service or product that you do, start with the why. Why is that product necessary? Why is the meaning behind that? Why do we need that? Then explain how. How do you achieve that? How do you provide that result? What problem are you solving? And then the what, which is what product. That's like the end. Sometimes we take it and most of the time we use it backward. We start by introducing a product. Okay, he's a great, let's put an example on real estate, right? So let's say I have a really nice, beautiful property. If I want to apply the golden circle to it, I will start with, most of the time, I've seen people start with the property. This is the features. This is why it's so great, the area and the square footage and whatnot, and they leave aside the story, they leave aside the purpose of it. So another good way to do this will be like the
So
why. So do you want
Simon
to create a
Sinek,
moment? Yeah,
Simon Sinek, that is the guy that you guys are looking at it right now. Super interesting guy. Super interesting guy. He has a book that I want to recommend to everyone right now is Find Your Why. That correlates with what I was saying. You are a very unique individual person. Unique. Nobody is like you. Nobody is like me. I'm unique. You just need to find your why, and people is gonna connect with your why. I recommend that book. Find Your Why. Continue, Dieguito.
excellent. That's a great recommendation, and you should follow that. Yeah. So going back to example, if you want to sell a property using the golden circle, you need to start with why. Okay, why do you need this property? Well, you want to build memorable scenarios for your family, or do you want your kids to grow with great memories? Do you want to provide them a safe space where they can run, where they can create? If it has a big backyard where they can raise the pet and have a lot of photographs or memories or taking selfies, then that's the how, providing that. And the what, it's the property. Well, make it happen in this beautiful property, and then you come up with the details. But start with the why, start with the story. Now we hope, of course, Ryan Sorhan, he's a huge, huge role model when it comes to personal brand, especially in the real estate business as an American real estate broker and author. And one of the phrases that he is stating on all of these conferences is, you are real estate and what? So you are real estate and what, like cooking, or you are real estate and I don't know, what's your passion and your purpose, and mix that along with real estate, right? I'm going to show you later some samples of people and how they achieve this messaging for that specifically. And another thing that he mentions, it's be consistent across platforms. And Claudia emphasized this moments ago when she said that you cannot create one thing on Facebook that is completely different on Instagram. The more consistency you have for your brand, the more memorable it makes you. So keep that in mind whenever you're creating. So what else makes a personal
Yeah.
brand great?
Let's say
Value.
let's put an example there, Dieguito, because I love to leave people with examples that they can actually go and do it as soon as we hang up in these presentations or master tactics. Let's say that there is a brand new project that came to the market yesterday. It's called Mercedes Benz. Okay, like I'm gonna tell my friends in the future, hey, where do you live? I live in Porsche, and you, I live in Bentley, and you, I live in Mercedes Benz. It's so funny to me, but that's the way market is going. So whatever, we go with the flow with the developers. Okay, brand new project yesterday, Mercedes Benz by JDs. Um, I'm gonna put across my platforms the project of Mercedes Benz because I want to attract prospects and buyers to that project. Why I'm going to go and put today one apartment on Mercedes Benz, one EB5 on Facebook, and another thing on my mailing lists when it goes out. I have to be consistent. So if you are going to create a piece of marketing, something for the new project that is called Mercedes Benz, okay, send it by email. So when that person opens the Facebook account or the Instagram, they see the same project. That's recordación de marca en español. That means in English that you are remembering. I think that the mind has like 2 or 3 seconds to record something. That's what marketing says. So if you open your email and you see the project, and then you open your Instagram and you see the same project with your same face, then you tackle that person twice with the same information. And then they go to TikTok and they see you doing something funny on TikTok with the same project. That's when you're getting customer to follow you, to start connecting with you. Am I correct, Diego?
Exactly right. Right on point. And additional to what you're saying is being consistent doesn't mean being the same on every platform. Like if you create a piece of content and you paste the exact same thing on all different platforms, that's not the most optimal way to engage and be consistent. And every platform it's meant for different types of users and different types of audiences. So you need to keep that in mind. The people that the users of Instagram are way different than the users of TikTok and the users of Facebook, and they use different behaviors. So be consistent, but don't be repetitive is the question. And exactly right on point, Claudia, with that example.
Yeah, don't
And
be
not only that,
boring.
but
Be
also
consistent with the message, but don't be boring with the putting the same e-flyer everywhere. That's not what I mean. I mean the brand, but not the same design. That's what I mean. So just and yourself, show yourself all the time. Like, hey, I am the best real estate agent for divorced couples. I couldn't believe it when I found someone that specialized herself in divorced couples. That was amazing. It's like when people is going north because somebody wants to sell to newly married, she was going south. She was she was selling houses to divorced couples, and she specialized in that, and she branded herself on that. That's what personal branding means. Continue, Dieguito.
exactly right. Now, coming back to what makes a personal brand great, some of things we already mentioned. Most of the time is providing value. You have to provide some sort of value. It's not about posting. It's not about looking good. It has to be valuable. Whatever you provide, is it entertainment, or even if it's educational, or even if it's just something that makes you start on a reflective process, whatever it is, just provide value. Make it aspirational. Make people like not be like you, but at least be around you, be close to you. That's what aspirational also means. Don't try to fake yourself into richness, because, like Claudia mentioned, people can see right through that.
They
People
can
can see
smell it miles away when you're fake. As you can smell someone being fake to you, when you want to be somebody that you're not, people can smell it miles away. Let's give you an example of what Diego just said. Being it's not how you look, okay? Let's talk about the big personal brands in the world. Give me one big personal brand. I'll give you one. Madre Teresa, Mother Teresa. Was she uh, Do you remember Mother Teresa for what she wore? She never used Louis Vuitton that I can remember of. Do you remember her because of the makeup that she put on? Everybody remembers her because she was authentic. Period. She was authentic. Okay. Let's say Gandhi. Do you remember Gandhi because he had big muscles? No, he didn't. Obviously, he was authentic throughout his life on what he was doing. Authenticity is your personal brand. Find your why. What is it that you are authentic with or for? How can people connect with you on a personal level that they're going to choose you instead of choosing somebody else? That's what
Correct.
personal brand means. Continue, Dieguito. Sorry que a mí me gusta interrumpir.
No, it's perfectly fine, and that's what this is all about, to create a conversation. So exactly on point. And now let's see how we can make all of this that we just talked about, make it a reality, right? So, because you may be asking, like, okay, but where do I start? How can I start making this happen? So, first of all, like we've been talking about, find yourself, because in the end, that's the personal brand. It's you, and you have a story. That's for sure. I want to mention here Chris, though. I've been following him for a long time. He is an Emmy Award winning designer and
I
director.
love Chris too. I love Chris too. Go to YouTube, people. He was talking about the yesterday when I was preparing myself for this, and during the weekend I was listening to Chris Hall and to Chris Doll, and he was talking about this the Gandhi people and the Mother Teresa, and that was he was talking about personal brand. Nobody remembers them because they were muscular or because they went to the gym or because they were authentic, period.
Exactly. And to elaborate a little bit on that, what Chris meant by that is that nowadays people have the conception or the misconception that social media and a personal brand, it's all about strength, right? So if you ask somebody who'll be like your hero, most of the time they tend to go, okay, he mentioned, for example, Chris mentioned The Rock because he's strong, because he's muscular, because he has a story also. But if you go back like throughout history, strong comes out of weakness most of the time. So he mentioned people like Gandhi, like Mandela, like Mother Teresa. They weren't strong, like Claudia mentioned. They weren't like pretty or wearing makeup or fancy, but within their weakness, they found that strength that lasted lifetimes. So that's the whole message behind that. Now, one thing that he mentions a lot is that like a product without a story is a commodity. Just to understand the importance of getting that story together and making it happen. One of the exercise that on his seminars in, I think it was in London, it's the two-word brand. So how do I find myself? He suggests that if you start creating your two-word brand, how would you describe yourself in 2 words, right? In his case, he described himself as I don't remember, but he was kind of like an introvert genius,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. And he was training somebody on a personal brand, and that person he was training in one of his YouTube videos. That person came to him saying, "I'm a people pleaser." Okay,
Exactly.
that was that client. 2 words: people pleaser. Okay, now we need to find the good part of being a people pleaser. And that's how you start developing your personal brand. Okay, I'm a people pleaser, and somebody takes being a people pleaser like a negative effect. So
Mhm.
in personal brand, he said in that YouTube class, he said, okay, come up with something better. And then the client came back and said, I like to be a people's pleaser. So that was the total 180 degrees movement to a positive branding. I love to please people. So that's when we talk about find your why, is that you need to find a way to connect with people. And that's what it's all about. Find a way to connect with people, being authentic, correct?
Yeah, keep it real. Keep it real. That's the name of the game. And how do we keep it real? Well, we're gonna be in a position of discomfort, of course. So it's gonna be something that at the beginning is gonna feel uncomfortable to you. It's gonna feel like a roadblocker. Don't worry about that. If you happen to get one of those, it's part of the process. So it means that you're already in the process, which is a good thing. Now, not only charisma, provide value. And by this, we mean it's not about, you don't need to be like a social butterfly, or you don't have to be owning a stage in order to generate a successful and valuable personal brand. What you need to do is to provide value and apply this within yourself and your story. People aren't going to do the work for you. You're going to connect with you immediately. Now, do the opposite. And that's something that Claudia also mentions. We in the case in the example of the divorce real estate agent for divorced couples, right? When people are doing something and it becomes like a trend, do the exact opposite.
Yeah, when
If
people
it is
go north, I'll go south. When people go east, I'll go west. You cannot follow everybody. It's not the right way. It's not the right way because sooner it's a lot of competition out there. You need to stand out of the crowd. Like this person that I told you the other day, she was popping on my Instagram. She specializes in divorces, and there is people that specialize in uh, single mothers looking for a place that the school is good and she can work and pick up schools from home to home easily. Things like that. It's look for your niche. You're gonna find it.
That's exactly right. Don't get discouraged if you see, okay, well, this is my thing, but a lot of people it's also doing that thing. There's always something unique, like Claudia mentioned. There's something always something unique. If it's not something about the service you provide or the product that you have, it's about you and the story you can tell, right? Because in the end, we're trying to connect. Remember, it's about differentiation, and over here, and very important, it's not about selling, right? Remember, we don't want to sell, but people likes to buy, and we don't like to buy, but we like to join tribes. So be the owner of your tribe. Now, another thing of having a personal brand is people associate fame with skill. So even if you're not the most skillful person, getting to know your audience and your community and letting people get to know you will help you change that perception, because sometimes people associate fame with skill. That's a fact, because we are a social species, and that's the way that the brain works, right? So when there's somebody being named a lot, it's because there has to be something about that person, right? So just
I
keep
I,
that in
I want to
mind.
leave. Yeah, I want to leave my people and real estate agents with something that they should do right now about what you just said when they hear a lot about someone. Um, how many people do you have in your database? Can somebody tell me? We are 40 minutes. We just have 4.5 minutes left. Okay. Can somebody tell me how many people you have in your database? Let's say you have 500 names on your database right now. Okay. This is marketing and this is personal brand. And this is how you get people. to buy from you. Okay, so pay attention, everyone. Let's say you have 500 names on your database. Okay, and those 500 names, obviously, you have an email. You're gonna send okay, Kenya has 2,000. Good. Okay, let's say you have, let's continue with my example. Let's say you have 500 names, and let's say you're gonna send in a month 5 different emails, okay, to the database of 500 people, okay? How many emails is that? We're going to take the weekend off. Let's say we don't work on weekends, like, ha ha ha, but we don't work on weekends, okay? Let's say we're going to send 500 emails. I'm sorry, 5 emails to 500 people. How many emails is that a week? Hello? Everyone there, how many emails is that a week? 2,500 emails. Okay. How many emails is that a month? 10,000 emails with 500 names. Okay. Marketing says that the minimum ratio that you can convert is 0.5%, okay, of whatever you send out. So out of 10,000 emails, if you convert 0.5, how many of those are going to become customers out of 10,000 emails? 5. Okay. Let's say you just create one client out of the 5. Either they block you because you are sending them a lot of emails, or they start remembering you. That's what marketing is. But the content of what you're sending cannot be boring, needs to be interesting. Okay? Don't say, hi, today the weather in Miami is 89. No, be creative. Okay, now how we be creative? Claudia, there is a lot of information. There is tons of things out there. Now everything is easier with artificial intelligence. I'm going to tell you guys what I did last week. I created 2 campaigns for EB5, one in English, one in Spanish, one for 4 campaigns, one for real estate agents and one for clients. I said to artificial intelligence, please create a drip email campaign for this kind of customer, high net worth individual, blah, blah, blah. And the concept is EB5 program from the government of the United States. Boom. 72 emails in English and in Spanish. My drip email campaign was created. I review it, I change a few things about it, and boom, upload it on my database. And I already have an email campaign for the next 12 months created. Guys, you have to do the work. It's not going to happen by itself. You need to market yourself, you need to brand yourself, and you need to go and get it. Get the clients, go and get them. But do it being smart. Brand yourself, be creative, be authentic, and take care of your reputation. Tiguito, something else to add?
Yes, really quick, and I want you to leave. I want to leave with this slide. We probably need to do a part 2 of this.
Yeah,
There's so
definitely.
much to talk
I
about.
love talking about this. I love talking about this.
Yes.
But with the
So
spam
can you see my
attention
screen
that
now?
we have lately, 45 minutes is the best I can take from them.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Um,
Okay.
can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So tactical actions, really quick. This is like a personal brand to-do list. have an impressive logo. It doesn't mean you have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be crazy, just be memorable and impressive. Have a good website, that's really important because that's your digital home. Have professional headshots. I wanted to mention here, like invest in yourself because you are content, you are the brand, so you need to invest in yourself in that way. Uh, have your Instagram and LinkedIn, at least those two on point. Make sure that they're great. And then video. Video is king, so video, 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 and more video. Create a video teaser, make video of the properties, record yourself because that's what the algorithms favor these days. Take advantage of WhatsApp groups, blogs, YouTube, podcasts. All of those things provide great value, which is also the second main thing of a personal brand. And third, networking. Like Claudia just mentioned, just go out there and make it happen. That's something that for sure is going to make things work. And really important, enjoy the process. It doesn't have to become a task. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you're incorporating in your life. Don't think about it as work. Think about it as growth. Work is different from growth, and all we're doing here, it's not working, it's growing. So with this seminar, with these master classes that brokers are providing to you, we are growing. So that's the importance of one thing that I want to mention.
Hey guys, everybody that is listening to it, you can contact Achieve Studio, Dieguito. Their cell phone is right there. Can you repeat it, Diego, please?
Sure. For people that are joining us is 786-486-3470. That's my personal number. But you can also check us out on Instagram at achieve.studio.usa or website achieve-studio.com. You're going to see a lot of different samples in there and
You just
about all
go
we
and
do.
tell them that you went to this class and you're going to receive a 20% discount
20%
on
discount.
any of their Matterports or drones, or they do everything related to my listings, and many of my personal brand they handle too. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. This is going to be in our YouTube channel, so I hope everybody goes and capture everything that we just explained today. Have a great day. I have to go and work. Bye.
Listen here. Thank you, Claudia.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.